G'day, folks. Today I'm doing a Supercoach team reveal now that Supercoach is open. Just created my team. Let me know at home whether what you think of my team, I suppose. Do be mindful, these are a few disclaimers in advance. Number one, in the past, I've obviously been the draft expert, been across every player, every team, yada yada. In the past year, I did not watch a second of junior football, so my knowledge still exists from 2022. So essentially, any juniors or players picked in the recent draft, that is knowledge from 2022, essentially. And yeah, so just be mindful of that. And also keep in mind as well, I have not read a preseason report. There might be players that are out for the year for all I know, or have had terrible preseasons. Please do let me know in the comments section below if there's any players along those lines. But yeah, due to popular demand, I've made my AFL fantasy team, and here's my Supercoach team reveal, given there's been actually quite a lot of demand for it. So despite, of course, having not watched any junior footy in the last year. So to go through it quickly, so McRae, I'm hoping that with Smith hurt, he's a full-time mid this year. We'll have to see. If he is, he'll be the top scoring forward. Flanders becoming a mid late in the year. I think he'll be one of the top forwards now that he's actually a mid at AFL level for Gold Coast. He's become a terrific footballer, it's fair to say, and I'm not surprised. Really the player that he's become, having seen what he was doing a year prior in the VFL. So that was certainly one that I called. Zach Fisher, I'm making the assumption that he'll be playing across half-back for North Melbourne. Having sort of the likes of Aaron Hall retire, Jack Zeeble forced into retirement as well. North Melbourne are very thin and not looking too good in defence, so I think that might open a window for Fisher. If he is round one listed across halfback, then I'll probably hold him. I think there's great scope for his price to grow. Nat Fyfe, he's one I didn't have in my fantasy team, so he's always been more of a Supercoach scorer based on, despite his poor kicking and disposal, just the sheer rate that he wins contested. That's always made him a much better player for Supercoach purposes. So given that, he makes it into my Supercoach team, but that will be conditional, of course, on him actually playing as midfielder this year. If he's going to be a full-time forward, I'm not interested at all, and I will consider alternatives. James Jordan, I've got in here on the basis of last year for Melbourne, he was often a sub, or even subbed out in some cases. So given that, if he's going to be a regular best 22 player for Sydney, look, there should be some price go up action. So it should be a bit underpriced there, so we'll have to see. But there are a few forwards around this price range that are interchangeable, so I'm also open to moving Jordan out if there's a better alternative that presents over the next few weeks. Sardis, I mentioned in my previous video, he was averaging 35 disposals in the NAB League. So look, if he's going to play mid-wing, some combination of the two, I think he's very much underpriced. So if he has a good preseason, if he is looking to be getting some midfield minutes and even better some CBAs, his price is going north. It's fair to say. My bench, so Sean Manor, you could easily have him on the field if you want, assuming he's round one listed. But he's that sort of mid-half forward, goal-kicking forward. And Geelong picked their mature age as well. They have a great history with their mature ages. Whether it's Tyson Stengel lately, whether it's Tom Stewart, they've just had so many of them. Tim Kelly, Tom Atkins. They've really picked the eyes out of the mature ages over the years. And not saying Sean Manor is going to be that All-Australian, best player in the team, best midfielder in the team, as a few of those others have become over time. But I do think that he has scope to be a best 22 player and play quite a significant role this year. So we'll see how that turns out. And we've also got Darcy here. So don't know where he's going to play, but as a third-year player who I think has tremendous upside. I think he could be one of the best key position players in the comp. I'm that optimistic of it around his future. We'll have to see where he plays. It might be cross centre half back for all we know. So we'll have to see where he plays. But if he's going to be a best 22 player, which he should be, if he's not, he should be demanding a trade right away. In all honesty, is that sort of his upside is really that high. But I'm pretty optimistic about how his year should look, assuming health and best 22 selection. But there's others around this price point that are fine too, that could be considered. But for now, I've gone Darcy, assuming he's looking good for the year. Rucks, as with in fantasy, I've gone with Gawn and Grundy. Both of them are underpriced, having shared ruck minutes last year, and I think they should be among the top scoring ruckmen this year. But yeah, being underpriced, that's beautiful. And then a Grundy can easily go up to, say, a Tim English, let's say. And that should be fine if I've got, say, a Gawn and English combination later on. Malay, I've just gone with simply minimum priced, having the DPP option. Being North Melbourne, they've probably got some Sunday games, so he can be a VC loophole until there's someone pretty obvious that'll make money and play regularly. That's more the scenario. I'd look at someone else. As for the established mids, so Petrarca, with Oliver out, you'll have to tell me at home whether you think his numbers go up, down, sideways, what's going to happen, how his preseason is. I'm just going to assume that with Oliver out, that Petrarca maybe takes up some more of that load, maybe wins a bit more first possession to boost those contested and clearance numbers to boost his Supercoach score. So we'll have to see there how that works out. Tom Green, I found it weird that he actually did so well in AFL Fantasy, yet his Supercoach numbers weren't as extremely high. So I still think there's a fair bit of Supercoach upside for Green. Walsh underpriced, Miller underpriced, Steele underpriced. Again, let me know any of these guys if they're hurt, bad preseasons, whatever. If I shouldn't be picking them. I can't say I'm a master of picking the right premiums year to year. So if there's anything that goes wrong with my starting team, it'll probably, knowing me, be my premiums. Rookies, I've gone with Reid, McKercher, Sanders. McKercher, Sanders, I'm assuming they both play sort of mostly mids. McKercher may be a bit more outside, but McKercher should play round one. Reid will play round one. Whether it's mid forward, back, we'll have to see. I hope he plays more in defence. He's best suited across half back for year one, given West Coast position. And a bit like a Sheasel, I think he'll look good across half back despite being on a team that's struggling. And Sanders, maybe with Smith out, maybe that gives him that opportunity. But yeah, if he's listed round one, I'm happy to field him. Clark, like him if he's playing round one. An early pick that really didn't get much opportunity. I think he had injuries last year, which would have hurt his year. But good mid who is fine for a bench spot. Sharp, we'll have to see if he plays regularly, but I think across either a wing or across halfback, he'll get sort of early opportunities to prove himself. Usually when a player gets traded, they get early shots, so I'll assume similar for Sharp. And he gives them a bit of a weapon that they probably lack as well, to be realistic sort of on the outside or across halfback. And Binns racked it up in the VFL last year. If he's playing, he'll make you money and score a heap. So... good option on a wing for Carlton, who should be explored this year, I would expect, and hopefully, again, that's early if he continues to make strides over the preseason, because he was great last year, had a really good first year in the VFL at least. Going through to the defenders, Dacos will, hopefully, given he's going into his third year, that his average is only up from here, so that's what I'm backing. Hayden Young, if he plays more midfield as he did late in the season, well, hopefully that means average continues to go up. Coleman, without Daniel Rich, it seemed like his average went up. So, and particularly late in the year in the finals, really had a surge and increased scoring. So I think he's underpriced as a result. Chapman, very underpriced. He should be easily best 22, whether it's halfback, wing, and he should score pretty well. Zach Williams, gravely underpriced. If he's named round one, I don't know why he wouldn't be in your team at home. Obviously injuries have been the issue, and that's the risk factor, but he can score like a sort of lower end premium, at least if he's healthy and playing. I've gone with Marty Hoare. He'll be fielded in my team if he's listed round one, but of course that's the question. Nick Caulfield, really like him. If both Hoare and Caulfield are playing round one, I'd even be comfortable based on their scoring capabilities to field them both, but given neither is a guarantee, well, I'm happy fielding one, benching the other. But Caulfield's massively underpriced if he's going to be playing. And then Claire Heasy, I just went with a cheap rookie-priced mature age defender for Gold Coast, given they're a bit weak in defence, so maybe there's opportunities. But I could always bring in someone like, say, a Toby Pink if I need another defender. So, that's my team, 55.5k remaining. So, yeah, that's what I've got left. But yeah, pretty happy with the team. I guess I'll just have to find out who's named round one. And yeah, I guess, and yeah, let me know please in the comment section below. Are any of these players hurt? Is there anyone I shouldn't be picking? Because yeah, again, I'm not reading preseason reports. Footy hasn't been on my radar at all this off season. Just yeah, being sort of focused on sort of investing stuff. So yeah, Dory Invests on Twitter or on YouTube if you're interested in some of the things I'm doing. But yeah, this is my yeah, Supercoach based on popular demand. So I've been getting a few DMs on Twitter and even a few comments here and there sort of saying, hey, can you make a fantasy or Supercoach team? So here it is. I'll probably do one before this, like an update of both fantasy and Supercoach before the start of the year. So but yeah, any feedback on this team is appreciated. If there's anyone that's a popular pick, again, I haven't looked at anyone else's teams, don't know who's popular. But yeah, this is the group I came up with just based on, I guess, logic and knowing footy essentially, and knowing how a lot of these players have been going, whether it's last year or past years or whatever the case may be. So but yeah, again, my knowledge in terms of like starting teams is good. But yeah, trading during the year, I'm rubbish. I don't bother producing sort of fantasy or super coach content during the year because I'll leave that to the other sort of super coach sort of content producers to do that, because ultimately they're across that, they follow it. Yeah, and I just make sort of teams to start with using mostly in the past junior knowledge, being across every team, every game. Knowing what's going on in the state leagues, juniors, all that, as well as AFL. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and let me know if you'd like a future update of these teams. And again, please give feedback on both my fantasy video and this Supercoach one as to, well, who should be in, who should be out, changes I should make, injuries to be aware of. All that stuff is, yeah, certainly appreciated if you want me to have a half competitive team this year. So, but yeah, if there's demand for videos over the next few weeks, please let me know if there's anything in particular you would like. But again, the disclaimer is that, yeah, didn't watch a second of junior footy last year. So I am a bit more limited, certainly compared to years past in terms of the sort of alpha that I can provide. So, yeah, anyway, folks, see you in the next video.